In this video, you are going to practice your listening skills with us.
Yeah.
Hoje eu tenho um convidado super especial aqui, que é o Tiago. Ele já vai contar sobre a jornada dele, but in English.
Okay.
O objetivo desse vídeo aqui é a gente falar inglês num ritmo um pouco mais calmo, mais articulado, para que todo mundo consiga pelo menos tentar acompanhar essa conversa aqui. E tem um detalhe, eu vou deixar perguntas aqui na tela para você tentar responder com base no que a gente está dizendo. E a resposta vai estar no comentário fixado aqui embaixo. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, so who are you, Tiago?
Oh, I'm Tiago. I'm an English teacher, content creator, actor, director, father, husband. That's me.
Okay, that's it. That's the end of the conversation. Thank you so much.
Bye, guys.
Now the world don't move.
So how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. I'm such in awe being here with you.
Oh, come on. It's so nice. You've accomplished so many things already in your life. So I really look up to you. You're an inspiration to me. So I'm very happy to have you on my channel as well. For the second time.
Yeah, for the second time. Guys, I know that we're all fans. Carina is such an inspiration to all of us. So whenever you think like, I'm gonna try to find some videos on YouTube, you know, tips on how speaking something, you're gonna see this face.
Yeah, I've been there forever on YouTube, but thank you so much for the kind words. Well, Tiago, the story of your life is really inspiring, and we've talked a little bit about it on our Speaking in Brazil podcast in Portuguese. But this time we're speaking English. But I would like to know how you learned English. Now in English, how did you learn English?
Well, speaking English has always been something that made me feel so happy. You know, I came from a very poor background.
Yeah, where are you from, by the way?
I'm from Bahia, Feira de Santana. So my dad was a bricklayer, my mom a maid. So I was this kid trying to conquer the world, you know, watching movies, Sessão da Tarde, you know?
I know.
I was like thinking that maybe one day I could go abroad and then speak English. So I decided to teach myself.
But so you're self-taught?
Yeah.
You've never taken any English courses or?
I had later on, but my first years as an English speaker was basically with everything that I learned through books, through videos and music, audios. So I talked to my mom, I want to speak English. I want to go to the United States of America. And I want to be like a high school kid, you know, from those movies.
With those jackets.
Yeah,
you know?
they're so cool.
Baseball jackets.
And I told her and I asked her if she could ask Away, like where the places that she used to work, you know, if she could like, I could borrow books from them, English books and dictionaries. So
how old are you?
I was 9.
9, oh my God.
And then
ahead of time.
Ahead of time. And she got some material for me, and then I started like trying to memorize new words and learn vocabulary and grammar rules. At the time, I wasn't able to practice my speaking and listening skills because everything I had was written books. Later on, I was able to get those tapes, cassette tapes, yeah. And I was able to listen to vocabulary and through conversations, you know. So I was like trying to memorize all of the lines of the characters in the audios.
And would you repeat the audios?
I would repeat, like shadowing sometimes. You know, it was a very nice and fun part of my childhood and teenage years, definitely.
Yeah, and so your main motivation was movies.
Yeah.
It's funny because my motivation was music.
Oh, yeah.
So we have different types of motivation. So that's what's important for you guys to find out what's your motivation to learn English.
Yeah.
Is it movies, music, or maybe travel? Work, studies.
Yes.
Yeah, we have to find our motivation. So you were 9 years old.
Yeah.
When were you able to say, oh my God, I can speak English. I am fluent. Do you remember?
Yeah, I quite remember. There was this group of missionaries that they would come to my city once a year. And I told my dad if he could like ask them to take me with them in those trips so I could be like their interpreter. My dad had never seen me or heard me speaking English. So he was like, do you really speak English?
But how old are you?
I was like 16. I was 16. at the time. And then he came to the church where those missionaries were. We went together and he introduced me to the guys over there. And he said, this is my kid, Tiago. He speaks English. He would love to help you out with this missionary program that you are doing here. They said, okay, we need interpreters. Come with us. And then I remember that we traveled to Salvador and it was a camp. There was this day that the preacher would need somebody to translate the message. So they said, Tiago, your turn today. And so, oh my gosh, is it really going to be me? Because there were other people to help with English and in Portuguese. I was there on the stage, 30 minutes of speech, and I was able to translate everything.
From English to Portuguese or from Portuguese to English?
From English to Portuguese.
Wow.
Yes.
But it is very hard because it's not just being able to speak English, it's being able to translate and to be fast, you know?
Yeah.
So it's not easy at all. I've never done this in my life. Can you
Really?
believe? No, never.
You know what?
That was quite challenging.
A fun fact, I'm a Christian, so I remember that sometimes I was at church and my pastor would be like preaching the gospel and I was in my head trying to translate everything he was saying to English just to practice my fast thinking. I was really happy that I was able to have this sort of challenge and finally find out that my English was good. Of course, we always have something to improve, but at the time, for somebody who taught himself, that was more than great.
Of course, and you feel that your English is real. It's enough to be used for communication, to express your thoughts and your ideas. And I think that's the best feeling, It's not just like trying to speak English perfectly without a foreign accent. Come on, when somebody who doesn't speak Portuguese can understand what you're saying, this feeling is amazing, right?
It is
so it means
amazing.
that your English works.
Yeah. And there's something funny. The first time I told a joke in English to foreign people, for native, and they laugh at my joke, I was like, oh my goodness, I got there.
Victory! My English is real. I can
be
joke
fun.
in English. Yeah, and that's an interesting point because sometimes we are able to speak English, but we are not ourselves yet.
Yeah.
We're not able to be who we are in Portuguese
Yeah.
because we don't know enough to be ourselves.
Yeah.
So, for example, I've always had a sense of humor. Yeah. So I like, telling silly jokes, and I'm very fast in Portuguese. And there was a moment when I couldn't be myself in English. So when you can do this, it's like, oh my God, yes, it worked, right?
It's amazing. It's amazing. I have so many good friends, Native American friends, like Native American sounds strange, like North American friends. So I have so many friends because the first time I was with them in that environment as an interpreter, I was 16. But in the next year they came back and they kept coming back year after year. So I worked with them for 7 years.
Wow.
And I met like dozens of native speakers, English speakers. So I have friendship. Like when I got married, they paid for my honeymoon in the United States.
Oh my God, I need friends like that.
One coupons. Yeah.
One of their kids, he is a pilot for American Airlines. Yeah. And he always gives me the flight tickets when I go to America, to my family, my wife, my
Where
kids.
are these friends?
So,
Lucky boy.
I've been there for Christmas time, special moments like families and friends gathering together. So I feel like they truly know who I am. And that's amazing knowing that my English got to that level that I can show my authenticity and I can really feel comfortable in my own skin when I'm speaking English.
Okay, so tell me about your first time in the USA. So you were a boy from Feira de Santana, you had no money to travel abroad. How did this happen?
Well,
friends.
That is...
American friends.
Yeah, American friends again. I was really into movies. I still am. But at the time I was like, I want to be a filmmaker. I want to tell stories. And I made this movie in my city called Sem Regras Musical. And it got me 3 awards, international awards, in a film festival. After winning that award, I was like, I know what I want to do. I want to study film in the United States. So I was searching through internet schools in the United States. And I found out that there's this school in New York called the New York Film Academy. And I applied for the school. And I was approved in every stage of the process, but I didn't tell them that I didn't have the money to pay. While I was going through all of that process, like English proficiency tests and like sending them a portfolio, interviews and everything.
So it was a long process.
Yes, I was fundraising, So I told my story. I made this video telling people how much I loved English, how hard it was for me to be able to speak that language. And also talking about my work as a filmmaker, because at the time I already won some awards and stuff like that. And people really got connected to my story, because coming from the place that I am from, it's surreal thinking that somebody like me could be able to go to another country and study the way that everything happened. I made this video, people started donating some money.
It's like a vaquinha, right?
Yes.
A little cow. I'm just joking. That's not how you say it in English.
They got me on TV, on radio, newspaper. They were spreading the word. Like my story was everywhere.
The local press probably.
Yes. And from Salvador as well. And I got really scared because that feeling like I'm too close. I mean, I'm almost there. I'm really close, but maybe
it might not happen. And
I was feeling like, is it real? Is it for real? Because in the past, my visa got denied twice. And I was approved in 2 exchange programs, but they got canceled. I have a history.
It had happened before.
Yeah, I have a history. And then I was really scared. But at the same time, my faith, I was praying, God, please help me, make this thing happen. And I remember that the last day, it was the deadline to pay the tuition. I got this email from the New York Film Academy with the invoice and the receipt and everything saying that my school was paid. And I was like, how is that possible? Because the money that people donated is still here in my bank account in Brazil.
But did you have enough money already?
No, just 6,000 reais.
And how much would you have to?
I needed something like 60,000.
60,000?
Yes.
And you had 6,000?
Yes.
Wow.
I got the email and then I was like, what's going on? And they told me that a person in the United States watched that video that I posted. They called the school and they paid my tuition. So that's basically how this miracle happened.
I think God listened to you.
God listened to me. And a couple days later, I got a call from the United States. And the person who paid the school called me through Facebook, like FaceTime. This person used to live in my city when I wasn't even born. My dad, as a bricklayer, he built the house of this family while they lived in my city. So they knew my dad and they paid the school for me.
They knew your dad, they saw your story, they felt really touched by your story, and then they decided to give you a chance. Oh my God, to invest in your dream.
Yes.
That's such a crazy story. I love listening to it. It's the second time I hear this story, and it always gives me goosebumps because that's the power of your dream and your effort.
Sure.
So it's not just about dreaming and praying. Of course, it is a part of the process, but you've worked hard, so you really deserved it. So you went to the States for the first time, and how did you feel? Did you feel that your English was good, or did you have, a shock? Oh my God, a culture shock or something like this, a linguistic shock?
It felt like a dream. I got there on January 1st, so the city was quiet, the snow. It felt like I was in one of those movies that I've been watching throughout my childhood. In terms of the language, I didn't have a hard time, but I do remember that when I used to go back to the house where I was staying, I would have headaches at night because it was a lot of English, like all the time.
I remember feeling the same when I went to England for the first time.
Oh, really?
And it was the British accent also. So I thought I knew English, but my British accent, listening to the British accent was harder. So, oh my God, I used to have terrible headaches.
Yeah, you got really tired, at first.
It's exhausting, in fact. But after a few days, you get used to it, isn't it?
You can get by. There were Brazilians in my group. So there were like 3 Brazilians. So I was able to speak Portuguese here and there, But I was trying to put myself like in a position where I have to practice, I have to speak as much as I can, because that's why I came here, you know.
Exactly, yeah. You can't miss this opportunity, right? Imagine going to the United States and speaking Portuguese all the time. No.
Yeah, makes no sense.
Well, and then you became a teacher.
Yeah.
How did this happen?
Yeah, I went to school. I mean, I studied letters with English. I studied English, right? So I went to college and I graduated from college.
Was it before or after going to the USA?
It was before.
Before.
It was before.
Okay. You were a teacher when you went to the States. Okay, now it makes sense. Yeah.
So I decided to study English because somebody told me.
Somebody told me
Yeah.
you had a boyfriend. Do you know the song?
Oh yeah.
No? Okay,
This
sorry.
another one. Somebody told me that there were like exchange program opportunities for like English students, but that was a lie. I wasn't able to find any. So what I did, I tried to apply for exchange programs. Like there was a program, the biology core students, they were able to apply for an exchange program in a university in Mississippi. Yes. And I applied as if I were like a biology student.
Oh.
But I enrolled myself in language subjects, you know.
Okay, got it.
It was like it was me trying to sneak
shortcut.
it out, you know, and I was approved. A month prior to my trip, they canceled their their contractual relationship status with my university, so I wasn't able to go.
Because God had better plans for you.
He had better plans for me. Yeah, now I see.
Yeah, now you see.
Yes.
Sometimes we feel devastated, but
Yeah.
maybe what's next is better.
Yeah, all things work for our good.
Okay, then you've lived the dream, you became a teacher, you were a teacher, and now you teach online. You have the perfect connection between the acting world with the teaching world. So that's two parts of your life.
Yes.
And you bring these two parts together to your social media, right?
Yes.
So you are very famous for some fun series teaching English or using English with humor and stuff. So tell us about these ideas. Where do these ideas come from?
You know, I'm a theater kid. So growing up at church, I was always, plays and choir and like anything related to performing arts, Tiago was there, you know? So I always loved writing stories and telling stories, especially my stories. Internet helped me to give me this platform where I can, you know, create, engage an audience that believes the stories that I have to tell. And that's amazing, you know, the feeling like 1 million people watched my video. Like, I made this series called Diego and Nathan. It got me like more than 30 million views.
That's insane.
That's crazy, you know. And I'm very grateful for being able to showcase my talent and also teach English and be an inspiration to kids that have the same sort of background. And also to speak English, something that I love doing.
And you talked about stories, but now I'm curious to hear about what you like to read. What are your favorite books? Are you into reading or not?
Yeah, I'm not much of a reader lately, I would say, but I really enjoyed reading Rip Van Winkle. It's one of the books that I read at college.
Isn't it the one where he says, I would, but I prefer not to? Is it this one?
I don't think so.
Okay, sorry. But I remember there was an accent like Rip Van Winkle. I don't remember. I've read the parts of this book too.
At college. I really like self-improvement books, like the ones that talks about performance and authenticity. I like biographies. I read Viola Davis' biography. It's such an inspiring book. Will Smith, his book is awesome. Like there are parts of his story that I've never been told before, so it's really cool. I love reading inspirational stories, people that, you know, overcome their obstacles and hard times. But I love watching movies. I do that more than I read.
So you said you like reading self-improvement books, but don't you think that sometimes you feel more anxious than inspired? Because sometimes that's what happens to me. So when I read too many inspirational stories, or I read this high performance world where we need to do our best and wake up early and work out and pray and then be a good dad, a good mom, sometimes it makes me feel a little crazy and a little anxious. How do you feel about it? How do you balance these things?
Well, there's the expectations versus reality, I like to feel inspired by other people, and I truly learn from their path, from their struggle, but I don't compare myself, because I feel like everyone has its own story. So the way that I like to read those books is like putting myself in a place where I'm here just to take whatever is going to help me, but I don't like to compare myself, because sometimes I feel that when I watch some videos on YouTube, because they put a pressure on yourself that sometimes it's a burden, to carry.
Yeah, we want to be better people, but sometimes we cannot do everything at the same time.
Yes.
For example, when I had my 2 kids, I've always been an amazing mom, and I will never regret giving up lots of things to spend time with my kids.
Yes.
But my career was a little on the back burner for a while because I had to be a mom.
That makes sense.
But then some years passed, and now I feel that I have to get my career back. It doesn't mean that I'm not a good mom, but I'm trying to focus more on work. I think there's moments, right?
Sure thing.
There's moments.
I feel like the same. I'm very productive on a daily basis.
When I'm thinking about recording a video, this guy has 10 scripts, and he said, okay, I've recorded 5 already, so rush.
I'm this kind of person, who's always trying to create something new, to bring up new ideas, and I'm always analytic about numbers and performance and everything. But I'm gonna tell you something, sometimes it's really tiresome. Is it worth it? Sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night thinking of new ideas to improve my work, to be better, to do better,
to perform
better. Yeah. So sometimes I feel like I don't know if this is enough, because as much as you give, you don't get the return with the same amount and passion and love and effort that you put in.
This is something I always question myself as well. So is this it? Is this what I really need to do to live?
Yes.
So some philosophical questions we have no answer.
That's the idea. That's the theme for another video.
Yeah, another video. And you have 2 kids, 2 very small kids. Actually, one newborn baby at home. Yeah. So tell us about your family. Oh, and your wife, by the way, she's a singer. Yeah. This is so many artists in this family.
Yeah, my family is my treasure. I'm really blessed with the family that I have with my wife and my 2 kids. We've been through so much, and I feel like God has been blessing us. Sometimes I feel like, oh my goodness, is this really happening?
When you look at those little faces, oh my God.
Yeah. Especially not only material things, but in terms of health and happiness and peace. So everything I do is for them. I really want to give them the best life that I could ever give to them. But also being down to earth, I always try to have in mind the place that I came from, my origins, my family, because that's something that really shaped me and made me the man that I am today. Kevin's such a creative guy. He speaks English already.
He's 3, right?
He's 3 years old. He's very smart. He plays the drums.
He plays the drums at 3?
He plays the drums.
My God, my son is 5 and he doesn't play anything. Come on. High performance, Mateus. You're behind Kevin.
Kawan is 1 month old, but he's very quiet. I think he took after his mom, who is more quiet person. He has a very good melodic memory. Sometimes we sing songs and then he can sing the same key. As singers, I do sing as well. We always singing at home, and sometimes he started singing the same key of the original song. That requires a lot of memory, melodic and harmony memory, to do it. And he grew up watching us, because we do musical theater, me and my wife. So he took him to the rehearsals and he watches us performing on stage, singing singing, dancing, acting. I think Kevin's gonna be an artist as well.
You are definitely their inspiration. I mean, inspirations, good inspirations for the kids. Have you been sleeping well?
No. What is that?
Yeah.
I don't know what sleepy means.
Let me tell you something, me neither. And my daughter, she's almost 3 now and she still doesn't sleep at night. It's terrible. But Tiago, thank you so much for this lovely conversation.
I appreciate you.
Quero saber quanto que você entendeu de 0 a 10. Ficou no meio? Ficou lá perto do 10? Ficou meio no comecinho? Não importa, o que importa é que você tá aqui com a gente tentando entender até agora. Se você tá aqui no final é porque você realmente se esforçou, então quero já te desejar os parabéns por estar aqui com a gente, pelo seu esforço. Olha a história do Tiago, que teve que se esforçar bastante também para chegar onde ele chegou, e o inglês realmente transformou a tua vida, assim como transformou a minha, né?
Yes. Thank you so much for having me. Such an honor to be here in this channel. Guys, subscribe in her channel.
And subscribe to his channel as well.
Okay.
Have lots of fun there. E também no Instagram, segue a gente no Instagram, porque a gente vai fazer collabs pra lá também.
Yes.
Então tem que seguir a gente. Tem que seguir a gente agora.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. Thank you so much and see you next video. Bye!